Welcome back to Movie Recap. Today I'm gonna show you a 2011 Indian Hindi language superhero film called Ra 1. Spoilers ahead. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. The movie begins with Jenny Nair presenting the new invention of Baron Industries, a UK-based technological company, beyond three-dimensional technology. The new design allows things to enter the real world using circulating rays. The next scene transforms into the world of games, where Lucifer is the hero, and Batman is the villain. He rides a motorbike on his way to Batman's place to save a girl. When he arrives, he sees that Batman hangs the girl by tying her both hands. Lucifer fights with him using his sword, and Batman kills him using his flying saucer with sharp blades. Lucifer successfully avoids it, but the flying saucer blades cut the rope that hangs the girl. Before she lands on the ground, Lucifer successfully catches him. On the other hand, Batman says "Get up" to Lucifer, but his voice turns into a female voice. Batman repeatedly says the word with the same female voice until all of them fade, and it turns out that the voice comes from the teacher of Pratik, telling him to get up from sleeping. After waking up from his dream, the teacher asks Pratik's essay about his father as a hero. Pratik looks at his teacher with disbelief, and says, "A hero?" The next clip shows Shekhar, Pratik's father, who drives carelessly on his way to Baron Industries, where he works as a game developer. As soon as all game developers are complete, their boss Baron arrives, and announces that their company gets a game contract to be released in India. Baron reminds them about the failure of the last game that they developed. So, he pressures them to do better. If not, he will make them as waiters of his incoming restaurant. When Shekhar arrives home, he talks about the new game to his wife, Sonia, and Pratik. Shekhar says it has a new hero, but Pratik tells him that heroes are boring. He convinces his father to make a game where villains are stronger than heroes and never lose because, unlike heroes, villains have no rules, and they always win. Shekhar tells his son that hero and truth always prevail. Yet despite his opposed belief, Shekhar decides to consider his son's request about the villains. The day after they talk, Shekhar drives his son and friends to their school. After they arrive, Shekhar tells his son that he will grant Pratik's request. Before he leaves, Shekhar reminds Pratik that, if you join the forces of evil, its shadows shall always follow you. In their company, Shekhar announces that they will make the most dangerous villain. All developers are surprised, but Shekhar convinces them that it will be great. In the making, Shekhar asks for how long they will call the villain, Random Access version 1. He suggests that they should give him his name. Jenny suggests that it is a great name, Random Access version 1, in short Ra Von, or Ra 1. Shekhar and others are amazed by her suggestion. So, they also think of the hero's name. Akashi, a Chinese developer, suggests the hero's name as Good One, in which they all approve and turn it into G1. After they agree, Shekhar lists their names, Ra 1 equals danger, and G1 equals life. Next, they start to make Ra 1 and G1's costumes, moves, and faces. Jenny is responsible for the programming. Akashi provides the moves of each character by wearing a bodysuit with detectors, and Shekhar approves Jenny to make his face look like G1, while Ra 1 looks like a black pixelated robot. While facing the large screen in the programming room where Ra 1 is projected, Shekhar notices the smile that Ra 1 makes. He tells Jenny that the villain has a good smile. Jenny looks confused, and she tells Shekhar that she does not program Ra 1 to smile. In the next part, Shekhar carries a fist-sized tube inside a small glass container, and introduces it as the main part of the game. He says that the tube inside the container is the HART, which stands for Hertz Amplifying Resonance Transmitter. Shekhar explains to his co-developers that once the heart is inserted into the hole of Ra 1 and G1's chests, it will give them strength. He explains that the game will have 3 levels. After winning every level, the heart's power will increase, and its color will become brighter. Blue heart for G1 and red heart for Ra 1. Both the villain and the hero will not die even if the heart is removed from their chests, and their bodies will repair themselves after several damages. Shekhar says that they will only die on level 3. On this level, each of them will get an anti-heart firing weapon containing 1 load. Whoever shots their opponent's heart first will win the game, and the one who misses to shoot will die. To further test Ra 1's moves, Akashi wears a glove detector, and tries several hand gestures for the villain. As he faces the large screen where Ra 1 can be seen, he makes another hand gestures. After that, Akashi grabs his cup to drink using his hand with the glove, but to his surprise, Ra 1 on the screen clenches his fist, and breaks the cup that Akashi holds. Everyone in the programming room panic, and checks the main system. Despite the previous problem, Baron Industries successfully launches the game. At their stadium, Shekhar and his co-developers invite their families to launch. On the big screen, the story tells about the 10 villains who create an undefeatable villain who controls mind. He is equivalent to 10 villains in one, Ra-1. Also, the villain can change his form into someone, whether it is a man or a woman. After that, they also introduce G1 in the form of Akashi who wears a bodysuit with detectors. Using the bodysuit with sensors, anyone can wear it, and be G1. When Akashi steps on the stage, he fights with Ra-1, with the game being projected on the screen. Using his body to defend, Akashi continues to fight while people applaud, and are excited for the new game, especially Prateek. At the end of the fight Ra-1 smashes G1 on his chest, but Akashi feels the impact too. Everyone is cheering because of the good fight, except for Akashi, who is puzzled, and still aching from the pain he feels in his chest. The launching ends when the company shows the human-sized figures of Ra-1 and G1. They all celebrated by throwing a party full of drinks and food. To his excitement, Prateek immediately requests Akashi to play the game under his favorite codename, Lucifer. When Prateek is about to reach the 3rd level, Akashi interrupts him, and tells Prateek that he should come to celebrate. In the middle of Prateek and Akashi's argument, Ra-1 speaks from the big screen and tells Prateek to finish the fight, in which the two people fail to notice. Despite his perseverance to finish the game, Prateek gives in, takes off the bodysuit, and goes to his family. At the same time, Akashi remains to stop the game. This pisses Ra-1, and promises to finish the game by coming into the real world and kill Lucifer. When the mainframe fails to stop, Akashi goes outside, and calls the tipsy Shekhar. On their way to the programming room, Shekhar stops in front of Ra-1's human-sized figure with the red heart inside the glass container. Akashi tells him that he will proceed to the mainframe, and leaves Shekhar in the hallway. Smilingly, Shekhar faces the villain's figure, and congratulates him for being born by inserting a rose in Ra-1's fist before he proceeds to the room. As they try to end the game, Shekhar presses different buttons, and without his attention on the screen, Ra-1 collects the rays from the real world, enabling him to come out to life, and turn the recent villain figure alive using his identity. After that, Ra-1 inserts the red heart inside his chest. Ra-1's strength magnifies and breaks the glass container. As he goes around finding Lucifer, Ra-1 changes his form into Akashi. When he reaches the mainframe, Ra-1 asks Akashi if he is Lucifer. Even if he is shocked to see himself in someone's form, Akashi answers Ra-1 that he is not Lucifer. Which make the villain classify him as useless, and hangs and kills him using the electric wires. Shekhar hears the noises and sees Akashi dead, so he immediately goes home, but Ra-1 interrupts him on the road. The villain asks if he is Lucifer, and when Shekhar realizes that Ra-1 is looking for his son, he lies, and tells that he is Lucifer. Ra-1 finds that he is lying, and kills him by smashing Shekhar into his car's windshield. Prateek and Sonia hear the news about Shekhar's accident and death. Sonia decides that they should go back to India, but Prateek senses that something is not right about his father's death. So, he and Jenny go to Baron Company, and they see its destruction. Prateek calls Akashi and asks what happens in the programming room. Little did he know, it is Ra-1 who he is talking over the phone. As they talk, Ra-1 learns that Prateek and Lucifer are the same, and that is also the time when Jenny and Prateek see Akashi's dead body in the electric wires. Therefore, both of them conclude that Ra-1 has come to life. After the call, the villain immediately traces Prateek's location using the phone, and proceeds to the Baron Company. On the other hand, Jenny and Prateek conclude that if Ra-1 can come out to the real world, so does G1. As they try to bring G1 into life, Sonia stops in front of the company to fetch Prateek, but she sees Ra-1, in the form of Akashi, walking furiously on his way to the entrance. Sonia calls Jenny, and tells that Akashi is heading inside. After they know that Ra-1 is coming, Jenny tells Prateek to leave, and she takes in charge of getting G1 out. Before Prateek leaves, he inserts the blue heart into G1's human-sized figure. When Prateek enters Sonia's car, Ra-1 sees him, and immediately go after them. Prateek tells his mother to drive faster, but Sonia does not understand why she has to follow her son not until she sees that Akashi is following them. He runs like a speed of a racing car, and follows them through. Sonia starts to drive faster even if she is confused of everything. From running, Ra-1 snaps a motorbike from one of the people on the road, and drives as fast as Sonia. Car crashes and bangs to different things on the road, wrecking Sonia's car. They successfully escape from Ra-1 when they arrive at a lot full of unused old cars. Prateek and Sonia startle from shock when Ra-1 smashes one of the cars to hit them. But before the car crashes, G1 arrives and smashes it away. As soon as they realize that it is G1, Prateek and Sonia drive away, leaving G1 and Ra-1 fighting. At the end, G1 is able to temporarily destroy Ra-1's body by hitting the gas behind the villain. This turns his body into remains, and G1 takes his red heart away, and follows Sonya and Pratik. When they reach the airport, Sonya takes G1 with them by handing him over Shekar's passport. On the other hand, Ra-1 gets his body back again in the form of a billboard model, who has a gigantic and well-toned body. When they reach their home in India, Pratik and Sonya do not tell their neighbors that G1 is not Shekar. In the evening, G1 tells Sonya that they should not stay in their home because Ra-1 will soon find them and kill Pratik. Also, G1 adds that there is less chance of survival because the chase between them and Ra-1 is endless. Emotionally, Sonya decides not to leave the house, because she wants to reside her memories with Pratik and Shekar in their house. Instead, she pleads G1 that even if there is a small chance to survive, he will promise to do anything to protect his son. In Pratik's birthday party, Ra-1 sedates Sonya and copies her form. He acts like Sonya, and kidnaps Pratik to Mumbai Expo. On the other hand, Ra-1 takes Sonya into Mumbai Railway. Because she is hypnotized, Sonya drives the train, and the villain's goal is to kill her by hitting the train at the last station. When G1 learns about Pratik and Sonya, he immediately goes to the railway station. Using his strength, he tries to hop on each cabin on his way to the driver's seat. Yet as he goes near, the train's motion speeds up, and does not stop to every station, making people furious and puzzled. Before the train hits the last station, G1 separates the driver's cabin from the remaining cabin and gets Sonya out. After he saves Sonya, G1 immediately makes his way to Mumbai Expo, where Ra-1 and the poor Pratik can be found. The child is trapped in the PlayStation room, with duct tape on his mouth, and ropes are tied on his hands and feet. Pratik desperately tries to untie the rope, and when he successfully do, he proceeds to the computer to control the game, and it is also the time when G1 arrives at the place. Before their fight begins, G1 gives Ra-1 his red heart, making him gain the strength again. As soon as they are ready, they both fight by hitting each other with their cannonball powers. When Ra-1 hits G1 with a statue, Pratik takes over and controls G1's move by wearing the bodysuit. Both players reach the third level of the game, where they both have a firing weapon that contains only one load. Pratik and G1 tricks Ra-1 by taking the hero's blue heart. When the villain fires his one load onto G1's chest, the hero falls to the ground, and Pratik inserts the heart onto him. When Ra-1 finds about this, he gets pissed by his wasted firing load, and multiplies himself into 10 to confuse the two in determining the real Ra-1. Pratik and G1 are both frustrated and confused. Both do not know how to differentiate the real Ra-1 from fake Ra-1. In the middle of frustration, Pratik asks G1 to quote one of his father's sayings. So, G1 says, "If you join the forces of evil, its shadows shall always follow you." After that, both of them realize that the true Ra-1 is the one who has a shadow. They look at each of the copied villains in front of them. When they find the one with a shadow, G1 fires his weapon to the real Ra-1's heart and kills him, shattering his body again into pieces. G1 runs towards the scattered remains of Ra-1, and catches all of them using his body. When Pratik runs after him, G1 says that he will have to go, and take Ra-1 back into the gaming world. Afraid, Pratik cries and pleases G1 not to leave them because it feels like losing his father again. G1 says that as long as humanity resides in Pratik's heart, his father will always be with them. Taking his last strength, G1 lays on the floor, and his body also turns into pieces except for his remaining blue heart, which Pratik takes with him. Long after the battle, Pratik and Sonya go back to London. The boy spends all his day on the computer to revive G1's heart. The movie ends when Pratik successfully restores G1's heart, making his life come into the world again. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this to help the channel out. Have a nice day.